Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this...
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go, hurry!
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 17 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Bengals grab it. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here's the first carry now for Frank Gore. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Third and long. It's Tannehill. It's complete to Drake. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
That's complete. Bernard. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now here come the Dolphins. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Call it a loss of 12 that time, and it'll be a second and long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love him as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Running, it's Drake. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now a play fake here on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll run again with Bernard. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So Dalton now. Green's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Holding, offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Again, here's Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate. It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. 1:57 to go in this first half. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Dalton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you get to the red zone, if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And nowhere to go. He goes down to the turf in the end zone. Tannehill taken down for the safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure. And boy, did it pay off in this case.
All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Under heavy pressure and down. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Brad Wing now, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him as it is. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. On second down, here's Tannehill. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and the Bengals grab it. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigskin at the 7-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Bullock will put this one through. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an all-pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
Just think about all the pass rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL. If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And Dalton to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephon Anthony in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Dalton, complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know what they have. They discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, Drake. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll try and pick up the first with goal. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On first down, it's Tannehill. Flush to his right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with it.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Chris Baker. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field.
And oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. Tannehill now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Uses the spin. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 13. Play action now. Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, these two guys, Dalton and Green, they've hooked up on some big plays since coming in as rookies together back in 2011. But sometimes Andy can rely on them just a little bit too heavily. And this is a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he stopped immediately there. The linebacker, Junior Gillette, in on the stop. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Snap for Tannehill. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And Barth puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
To throw on 3rd down, Dalton. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now Bernard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Bengals getting set to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit...
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Tannehill now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. He dumps it off to Drake. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 12 more yards there and another first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure it's enough time to continue to do that.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive. The bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both